wanna make the world a better place, so take a look at yourself and just make a change. Ooh, yeah. Sha-na-na, sha-na-na, la-la, la-la, yeah. Oh, yeah. Is this a Friday night? Oh, yes, it is. Look at me. Check me out. I'm Ricky C, and I'm about to have a show with scary ghost stories and the glory of the past. You know, I'll never last long doing this song because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't like the Boston Bruins. I don't even like sports at all. You better not call me. Haha. Oh, I don't know what else to rhyme, folks. Thanks for joining in. Can you hear me? Oh, yes, you can. Now you're going to be able to hear me even better. Look at that. And better. And better. Until I am all you can hear. Give it up for Mr. Justin 7. Music, the best 3. His link is in the description below, as always. My good friends and favorite channels here on YouTube. Check them out. Oh, yeah. All right, let's get back to this screen here. Oh, yeah. Heyo! There's the new logo. Do you like it? How's everybody like it? Let me know in the chat room if you like my new logo. All right, can we get on screen here? Can we get on camera? Heyo! The music just stopped for some reason. Oh my God. Look at it, it's me. Episode 22 on May 22 of 2020. What is the synchronicity in that? Thank you. Let that sink in. The biggest news of the night. Not the date. Not the date. Not the fact that I'm doing episode 22 on May 22 of 2020. You know what the big synchronicity is? I don't know. But this is even bigger news. I'm going to type it in the chat right now for you. Hey, look, we lost the one viewer I had. Thank you, though. That's all right. We're typing it in the chat. No, I'm not typing it in the chat. Now I'm typing it in the chat. Huge news. Made my day when I looked at this. I just saw this minutes ago, folks. Are you ready? Are you ready? '50 subscribers! I'm gonna do that every 50. Alright? Thank you. Wow. You know, I started this channel. Where am I? Why am I not on the camera? I started this. Oh, by the way, this mic isn't working. I love that. I plan that every time. All right, let me stop sharing that. We got to stop you there, buddy. 50 subscribers. Thank you so much. Just saw that moments ago. So it happened between yesterday and today. Because I check that thing every day. I just leave YouTube on just for that. I'm just joking. This thing is not working. I'm just pretending it is. Because I'm getting used to having it here. And where I'm going to talk. If I have to lower it. Or make it closer. And don't worry, yeah, it's not even plugged in. But this is the new microphone for anybody who's been watching. Yeah. So tonight we have scary ghost stories. And we want you to call in and share yours. But if you want to just listen in, that's okay too, because I have chosen some to read to you. So we got to get the scary music on. I also believe we were going to have someone come on and tell us a few scary ghost stories of his own. I gotta send out the invite. I'm gonna put the invite in the chat. If anybody, we can have up to 6 people in here. So if you want to get crazy, it's Friday night. Let's do it. All right. Let me get the scary music on for everybody. All right, hold on. Just relax. We've got it coming. I got it all set up here. Oh no, I didn't save that one. Oh gosh, I'm the worst. Oh wait. Wait. Here it is. I did it. We're just gonna restart that bad boy right there. And we gotta pause that while it loads. All right. This is royalty free, no copyright music. I'm gonna show it on the screen. It's called Music of Fear. We're gonna have this as our background music tonight. So let me know how you like this for the scary stories. It's gonna load up here. I'm sorry. All right. I want to have that low, like that. Is that good? Is that a good mixture? Let me get back to the screen. I can't see it. Oh, an error occurred. Great, thank you. Playback ID. Okay. Well, let's see if we can refresh that. That's the beauty of working here. I don't know. There's a playback error around 14 seconds. We'll see if that happens again. All right. I'm not sure why, but we made it past it, folks. So we use this as our background music as long as it keeps playing for us. Now let's get back here. Hey, Stu! What's up, buddy? Thank you. Yes. So happy. I'm like the kid in a candy store. Look at me. I just found out minutes ago. It's still sinking in. That's all right, Stu. I have several ghost stories lined up, so if you want to sit back and relax, let's get this a little darker. Can we get it darker in here? Hold on. I've got a whole new light system. I got a remote control for it, but I haven't figured it out. So I just set up the switch right here on my wall. Let me see. I want to get it darker. How do I do that? I think I have to hold this button. Hold on. Oh, yeah. That's a little too dark. There we go. All right. Excuse me. Yes, sir. I did it. 50 subs. Woohoo! It's huge. Because it's hard, man. I'll tell you. I started this channel and I was just fooling around. I really just started seriously getting into it in April of this year. So it was last month. But fooling around with ideas, and I couldn't do anything because of work. I had to be in bed at 8 o'clock at night. So things just came together like this, and now look. I think I was at 21 subscribers when I just friends and family, little videos here and there. And I got like 29 since starting this channel. Woohoo! So thank you, folks, for believing that I have something here that's worth your time for tuning in. We got some scary music to play in the back. I'm going to lower that just a little more. And I don't want it to be too loud for everybody, you know what I mean? I don't even know if you can hear it. Can you hear it? Oh, it is sharing it. All right. I don't know. It says playing audio. Okay. So I just want to get a little bit lower there. There we go. You want to hear it in the background. You don't want it to be too overwhelming. So I think it's share. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't even know if you can hear that. Can you hear the background music too? If you can let me know, that'd be so much appreciated. Because there's no way for me to tell with the way the setup is here on the free version of StreamYard. It's a great setup, don't get me wrong. I just can't tell um, what's playing and what's not. So I'll wait a few seconds. And if you want to say yes, I can hear it, or no, I can't, I'll give you a cookie. Yes, I will. I have Chips Ahoy chocolate chunk. Yep, half a bag left. It's 2 sleeves, I think. Yeah, 2 sleeves. So you might even have a whole sleeve just for you. All right, let's get the invite. I know Mr. Stu's joining us in the chat. Thank you, Stu. You're one of my 50 subscribers now here on Rick's Realm. Episode 22 on May 22nd of 2020. What's the synchronicity? Who's that? Hey, oh, all right. So we don't have any audio. Thank you for letting me know. Let me go to that one. All right. I've got the free version, so I think I can only do one thing at a time here with this. But this is pretty good music. Here it is. Oh, here you go. All right. There we go. You like that? Okay, now you should be hearing it. Thanks, Goof on Radio Stream, joining us in the chat room. Now you guys should hear it. You can see the cool graphic. Ooh. Chuck Bam! Oh my god. The whole gang's here tonight for some scary ghost stories. I'm trying to get a, what do I do here? Oh, now the pressure's on. Usually I don't have anybody watching me. Usually I'm sitting there talking to myself. Well, I had Shannon in here last night. I'm gonna put the invite in here. I can't get a hold. Let me see this here. I'm terrible at this stuff, folks. Sorry. I'm brand new to everything in life. Let me see here. We got that copied. All right, one nobody. We got everybody in here. Number 51. Oh my God. I think a little tear just came out of my eye. I'm trying to be somewhat professional. No, I'm not. I don't try to be professional. That's not who I am. But thank you. Wow. There it is. We got music. All right, so this will be tonight's background scary story music. Wow. All right. So let me see. If you want to... I got to lower it, though, because I just have a feeling it's too loud for... It's low, though. Maybe it's just in my headphones. No, I want to... Yeah, that's too loud for you guys. Hey-o. There we go. Perfect. That's just what I wanted right there. All right. So I picked out some scary stories to read to you tonight, and here's the... Hello! Oh, this is awesome. We got Goof on Radio. Yeah, listen. All of my shows are test shows. I got this. This is what it is. See this? This is all of my problems right here. It's a $20 headset from GameStop, literally. So every time I hit it, I can hear it. Every time I move it, there's like a click or a snack or a every time. So I have this here tonight. I even though it's not working, it's here for what do you call it? Prosthetics reasons. I'm trying to get used to having it in front of my face and getting used to this is what's going to be on the show. I have the new cord coming. This thing sucks ass. What do you want me to do? Alright? Now you make me all self-conscious. But the show must go on. My gums are smacking, brother. Alright. Nose whistle? Yes, hold on. I can get one. I can get this mic right up there. Alright, you know what? We won't even have a ghost show. We'll just have a Roast Rick show. So put your best roasts in the comment and I'll put them up here and then you guys can Who has a ghost story? Who wants to share a good ghost story? Anybody? I have some here. I'm gonna read some to break the ice for everybody with my cheap mic. Which one shall we start out with this evening, folks? Now, I don't know. See, I don't want to put this up on the screen and read it to you guys because then you'll be able to read it faster than I read it because I don't read too fast. You know what I mean? I'm not a speed reader over here. And I was going to try to do it in like a Dracula voice. I don't know. Is that more scary for everybody? That's once I get the mic plug in, then we'll do Dracula voice for everybody. One Nobody, what's up? We got Stu, One Nobody, Goof on Radio Stream, Chuck Bam. Who else is in here? Anybody? No, that's it. That's good. That's all we need. All right. So let's start. You guys can watch the cool graphic because it's better than the story. I don't want you guys to read ahead of me. You know what I mean? I can't even move and I hear clicks. Oh, I apologize, folks. I'm just going to call all these episodes test episodes, and then they'll be numbered. So it's like not the real thing. You know what I mean? I'm doing the best with what I got. I'm sorry. So unprofessional. Alright, so this first ghost story here, I won't be reading the chat because I have a different window open, so I can't see your chat, but it is called The Winter Solstice Hooded Figures. And this is by People Are Strange in Decatur, Illinois. Posted on March 6th, 2019. On unexplainedmysteries.com. You can find the link in the description. It's unexplainedmysteries.com. It's a great site. I've been using it for decades. Alright. I'm a 26-year-old man who has always been thoroughly certain that people who tell stories like this are only doing so because they're ignorant and want attention. In fact, gave this girl I was with for a few months so much flack because she said she was a psychic and all kind of crazy stuff. Well, it's December 24th, 2018, and I and my girlfriend drove through Greenwood Cemetery in Decatur. Decatur 2 at precisely 3:45 p.m. I want to add that not only is it the winter solstice, but it's also a full moon, the last expected to occur until 2084, when we'll all be dead. It didn't say that part, but... Well, we're driving through, laughing and talking and whatever. Got out a few times, read a few headstones, etc., etc. Well, we pull around to the very back and are about to head to the gates to leave when I see two of these faceless hooded things, colored the deepest hue of black that I have ever seen. They're sitting next to each other, halfway up an incredibly steep hill, and at first I thought they were just mounds of dirt or something. But no dirt is that dark. Well, I grab my girlfriend on the arm and ask, "What is that? Can you see that too? Am I going crazy?" Honestly, I wish I could have been as normal as all that. She looks at me with huge eyes and says she can. I'm not just tripping. So we just stare for a full minute, sun shining until I just can't do it anymore. I scream at her to get us out of there, and she slams on the gas and takes off. And one of them turns its head, following us until it's too far away to see. We get a few miles away and pull over, and we're both shaking. We try to imagine any rational explanation for what we'd seen, but can't, and I'm not handling it all that well. So I got to the family thing and tell them, while my girlfriend and I are talking about it, and I'll say now, I was most frightened I've ever been in my life. But it keeps running through my head that if we just go back and take a second look, we'll see that it was something benign, a tree stump or maybe just some dirt. And so that's what we end up doing. It's basically dark now and every fiber is screaming not to, but I have to know. Well, we get to the spot, turn on the brights pointing precisely where these things had been, and there's nothing there. And that was almost worse. So we leave and I immediately hop on Google, and here I am, absolutely terrified and looking for answers. Alright, folks. Now I'm coming back to the chat. Have you folks had any encounters with hooded figures? I don't even know it. Where were they? Did I lose happiest? Fall asleep? Excuse me. Yeah. Any hooded figures in the cemetery late at night, folks? That was scary. That was called Winter Solstice Hooded Figures. Alright. So I'm going to close that one. And we're going to go on to terrifying, unexplained screams. Alright. So, let me see. Eat a cookie for... I have cookies. I have, and I recommend them highly. They're like the adult version of Chips Ahoy, the Chips Ahoy chocolate chunk, but they're like the adult version. They're still small, but you eat 2 or 3 of them, you're happy. You know what I mean? You're brought back to your childhood. So I recommend those. All right, so it's all right, folks. Settle in for our next terrifying story. Oh, that's a long one. I don't know if you folks are snuggled in enough for a long one. Let's find a shorter one, shall we? This one is called A Nighttime Encounter. Posted on May 28th of 2019 by Walker in Missouri. Recently, some weird things have started happening around my house. I'm 17 and live with my parents. They live upstairs and I have the basement to myself. 3 nights ago, I woke up after midnight, which isn't uncommon because I don't sleep well. My bedroom door was closed, and I heard scratching at it, and I assumed it was my cat because that's what she does when she wants into my room. I got up and opened the door, and she wasn't there. I assumed when she heard me, she got up and ran to the storage room down the hall where her food is, wanting me to feed her. So I walked down to the storage room in the dark, and when I flipped the switch for the storage lights, they didn't turn on. I pushed the door open a little further, and a terrible smell seemed to rush out the door. The soft light of the electronics in the living room did nothing to eliminate the dark doorway. I stepped inside and stepped into something hot and warm. At first, I thought it was a hairball my cat had left. I took my sock off and went to the bathroom and turned on the light to look at it, and it was a disgusting black color. I heard a shuffling sound coming from the storage room. It sounded like a man with a slight limp slowly walking out the room. I was scared at this point, and the ball in my stomach tightened even more. I left the bathroom light on and ran to my room. I turned the lights on, locked my door, and fell into bed. I remember sitting there hearing the faint shuffling in the storage room continue. I turned my fan on and tried to convince myself I was hearing things and was able to fall asleep. I woke up the next morning feeling better, and I went to the storage room to check for whatever I stepped in. Whatever liquid that I stepped in, it was gone. And I didn't have the courage to go any further than the inside of the door frame. And haven't drove a car since then because I was too afraid. No, that part's not included. That's scary, right there. I don't know if that's ghostly, but it's something in the night. How about you folks in the chat room? Have you ever had any ghostly liquid stories? Huh? That is, yeah, he's been in the basement, so it could be something dripping in the ceiling, but I've never heard of ghosts leaving, what do you call it? Liquid behind, like any type of liquid besides Ghostbusters, the ectoplasm. How about you guys? Have you had it? I lost 2 people. Ugh. I know the stories of. What do you want me to? They're not my stories. If you don't like them, I'm sorry. Lufon in the house. Darko, a paranormal. He's got stories. Let's get him in here. Let me post the thing. I'll just post it right here. I don't know how to do all this Facebook stuff. Hold on. There you go. Hey, Paul. Chuck Bam. Hey-o. Alright, here's the invite. Does that work? Alright, if you click on that invite, that will bring you into the show. So don't click on it unless you want to be on the show. We got Mr. Dark Hour Paranormal. He's got stories. He's coming on. He's got the invite. It's getting crazy in here, folks. I don't know what to say. Chuck Bam's got some scary stories. All right, we're setting up for goof on. I mean, not goof on. Oh, I'm out of it tonight. Goof on threw me off from earlier with my mic issue. I'm sorry. I'm trying. It said the Amazon said. I think this is coming. The wire for this is coming. What's today? Friday. I think it's coming Monday. I don't know. So we'll have a better mic. I won't even be using these headphones anymore. I'm going to switch to my Bose because they're just headphones, and then everybody will be happy. All right. So we're waiting on Goof on. We're gonna watch this here. Why don't we tell another scary story while everybody's settling in for the night? Alright, let me find it here. Oh, I wish this worked so bad. I'd be like, I'm gonna get my modulator so I can make all the deep voices and. Oh, thanks, buddy. Yeah, I usually do about an hour or two, so. Let me see. We're gonna go to our next scary story. Let me close that one. We just read that. Ooh, this one looks scary. If it's not too long, I'll read it. Let me see. Well, this one isn't too long. Alright. This one is on Unexplainedmysteries.com. And it is called Red Floating Lights by J. The letter J, that's all it is. Location, Canada. Our neighbors to the north. Red floating lights. Throughout my life, I have been experienced some really strange and unbelievable things. I don't think that someone from Canada sounds like that. They're probably more French accent. I can't do accents, I'm sorry. And unbelievable things, but none of them gave me the feeling that I have right now. It was 11:01 p.m. when the power went out just briefly. 11:03 it happened for the second time. This time I looked immediately outside, and the streets and neighbors. Everywhere seemed to be just fine, but it was still dark. The power came back on. 11:06 the third time. This time was different. Everyone else had lights, so it seemed as I looked out the windows, and then the coldest chill I have ever had in my life. Every hair on my body stood straight up. Goosebumps from the feet up, and a horrible feeling of no longer being alone. My son and wife are asleep upstairs. I heard nothing but silence, but I turned around anyways to see something I've never witnessed before. 4 to 6 little red glowing balls of orbs. Oh well, I really don't know. They were just floating there. I'm getting the coldest chills sitting here as I am typing this. Out of thin air they were gone. I sat back down and tried to process what I had just seen. And out of the corner of my left eye, they were maybe 5 to 6 feet away from me, and then vanished again. This time I didn't sit. I ran to where I am now. I woke my son up and took him into my wife and I bedroom and locked the door, listening and searching to hopefully get an answer and feel some comfort. That's how I got here. Someone please tell me what just happened. By Mr. J in Canada. Well, that certainly is strange, Mr. J in Canada. Who here has had red balls of light? Ayo! Anybody? Red balls of light floating around their house? We have Mr. Michael Roser now joining us from Dark Hour Paranormal. That's right, he just called in, folks. And let's welcome him in. Hold on here. Let's figure out this screen first, and then we'll add him in. Heyo.
Good evening and welcome. How are we doing tonight, Random Rick? Rick's Realm. Rick.
Welcome,
Mr. Random.
To Rick's Realm.
Hey, listen, I want to
What's going on?
I really enjoy your narration, not just for the fact that you're trying to make it sound spooky, but it's entertaining, man. I've been enjoying listening to it.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So, what do I have to catch up on here? What do we got on the table?
It's Friday night. It's ghost stories. I was reading a few here.
Mm-hmm.
And then if anybody had some, I put the link in the thing. So obviously called in here with some. And I've heard them, and they're interesting, and I think other people need to hear them.
I figured tonight I would share the story. All right, so I have three very. How many fingers am I holding up there? I have three very distinct stories to tell you in the way of my ghost experiences. But for the sake of time and brevity, I'm going to start with one, and we'll see where we go with that. You ready?
Yeah, I dropped something. I dropped something, so I had to put you on screen so I could bend over.
No comment.
You got your little banner going, everything. It's your show now again.
Oh God, again? I just did a show last night.
Once an episode, folks. We give it over to him. Go ahead.
All right. So when I was much younger, all right, thank God the mic's off for a moment. When I was much younger, I'd say I was around 10, 11 years old. My cousin came over for a birthday party along with another cousin of mine who was much younger, a little girl at the time. I think she was 6 years old. And throughout the party, everybody was having fun. And my aunt came up to me. She says, "Hey, would you like to spend the night? You know, everybody's having a great time. We'll go back to my house. We can watch movies, make popcorn, all that kind of great stuff." So I said, "Yeah, sure, I'd love to." And my cousins were, very enthusiastic about the idea. Now, the funny thing was, she said, "Hey, can I talk to you for a minute?" I said, "Yeah, sure." So she took me into the next room and she said, "I just want to let you know that my house is haunted." I said, "Okay. What does that mean?" I mean, I'd watch Unsolved Mysteries. I had an idea or, something like that around that age, but I didn't really have the full implication of what a haunting was. And she says, "Well, yeah, I have somebody there. It's a male figure. He was a doctor. He's lived in the house many years ago, and he performed illegal abortions in the basement." I mean, right then and there, I should have been like, "All right, maybe we should do something else tonight. Maybe something on TV. I like cartoons. I don't know." But instead, I said, "Well, that's fascinating. I'm down to go." She said, "Okay." And on the way there, she kind of explained some of the phenomenon that she had experienced, lights flickering on and off, especially during electrical storms, she mentioned. And that might be something that you and I could debunk, but the fact that it happened when there was an electrical storm and when there wasn't, in the same way, there's a continuity there in a certain respect. Now, that being said, she put my cousin Jesse and I in the living room up and watching a movie, and we were drinking Coca-Cola and eating our popcorn, and her 6-year-old daughter had gone to bed. She was, very tired, of course, at that time of night. So my cousin passed out, and it was only me up. And I think it was probably about 1 a.m, which was late, but we're kids, we're staying up. And I hear footsteps going up the stairs, the regular stairs, going up to the second floor. And I thought maybe my aunt had gotten up or something. So I look around and, I mean, the lights are on. I don't see anybody. I'm like, that's really strange. So I lay down and I shut the TV off because I'm going to try to get ready to go to sleep. And I start hearing doors pounding downstairs from underneath me, which would be in the basement. Now, the significance to that was that in her basement, she had one of those old doors where they'd slide coffins through. I can't remember the name of it, but it's this sort of shape here. And, they'd swing, the bodies out after whatever embalming process they were doing back in those days. And that's what they would do. So apparently it actually had a morgue quality to it, as along with, these performing these illegal abortions. And then I started hearing babies crying. Now, when I say babies crying, started with one. As soon as I started realizing that I was hearing something, I heard another one that would overlap with that. So that's why I say it in a plural sense. Now I'm 11 years old, and now my stomach is going in knots. I'm scared. But the only thing I could do, as I heard this stuff continue on, and I heard, footsteps coming up the basement stairs, was to just lay back down and literally cover up, as you see, in the movies and what people do underneath the covers, and just hope to hell that you either fall asleep or it goes away, whichever comes first. I think I fell asleep maybe a half hour later, if I were to guess, but I've never forgotten that. And when I brought that up to her, she said, "Oh yeah, definitely. That's the common occurrence here." Now, one more thing to note with that is one of the most punctuated times I could say that that really left an effect on me in terms of her house was a time where she went up to check on her daughter. This was after our visit, and she had a stuffed rabbit. See if I can. Okay, she had a stuffed rabbit, and she's sleeping on her bed. Now, let's imagine, this is her bed. Here's the stuffed rabbit that would normally, you could stand it up like this. Now, she walked into the room, and the rabbit was like this. Okay, this is pretty much defying gravity in any respect. Now, she said she knew what it was when she saw it and said, "Leave her alone," shouted at her lungs. She was done with this at that point, and literally the thing dropped to the floor.
Oh, God.
So it wasn't anything negative. It wasn't trying to be invasive. She actually could tell me where he was buried down the street. She could take me to his grave. I don't think I ever did go, but she did mention that he was buried, not too far from the property. And for the entire time she lived in that house, she experienced stuff.
Oh, wow. I would have been out of there. How far were you from your own house?
I was maybe 2 or 3 towns away.
Oh, yeah. I would have been out of there. Oh, you weren't old enough to drive, right?
No, God, no.
I would have stole my friend's mother's car and learned how to drive real quick. Oh, my God. That's creepy. Oh. So have you been back to that house since, or?
No, I'd say it was only twice that I ever been there. The second time that I went, I didn't experience anything. We were there for, a day party or something. But the first night was enough to make me believe that there was something there, even at an early age,
Right. I wouldn't even go back at all. I don't blame you.
It wasn't even that I was afraid. God. I mean, if I had the sense that I have now, I would say, all right, I'd love to go back and just, feel it out. But I mean, I didn't know what 11 years old.
Chuck says, how do we add that to the chat? There we go. Baby's crying, not harmless. Yeah. Dude, as soon as I heard one, I'd be out of there. Oh.
I mean, it was interesting. I mean, as scared as I was very interested in the experience at that moment. It was very strange. There might have been a static in the air of sort, but I honestly can't remember. I just remember being more afraid than anything.
Yeah. Oh, God. That reminds me. That's the only ghost story that I really have is when I was younger. And I don't even know if it's a ghost story or if it's a dream, but it's so real that I always have it as like it was real. So my cousin lived next door. I think, God, how old was I? Maybe 8 or 9 years old. She lived next door, so our backyard's connected. I think I've told you this. And you can go into the back door. So we could go in and you knock on it was our family. We both lived in both houses, next door to each other. So you can go in and out or whatever. So I go into the back door of their house. And if you walk into the back door, okay, right to your left is the stairs that go up to the second floor. To your right is the entrance to the kitchen. That would be, on your first floor apartment. And then to the left next to the stairs, immediately, right under the stairs is the door to the basement. So you just have that little hallway, a door here, the basement door, and then the stairs up. So I'm sitting there like asking, my cousin to come out and play Jen. I'm like, Jen, I'm yelling around. I look in the kitchen door because you could just open it and look in. Nobody's in there. I'm like, Jen. So something just made me want to I would never do this at that age, but something made me open the cellar door. All right. And I'm getting the chills even. I can't even do it, dude. This is like 40 years ago, man. Wow. I opened the cellar door. And it's not my cousin Jen, but it's a girl like her age with like flowing hair just floating on the stairs. Like the stairs go down to the cellar. Floating. Right there, dude. I'm getting the chills. I'm not even joking.
Let me ask you, not to stop you, but
hair on my arm. I'm not even joking.
No, but I believe you. But not to stop you, but when you saw this thing, you could define, a head or a torso, and then they just didn't see anything past the legs or what have you.
I remember vividly looking at the head first, and like it was flowing here, and I was looking, started to scan down, and I just noticed it wasn't Jen's face. And then I noticed instantly that she was floating. Shut the door. Done.
Oh man.
Dude, but it was peaceful. It wasn't harmful. It was like a nice girl, but it was like almost real. It was like I can't even believe I'm talking about it. I'm like nervous now. I'm like shaking.
Well, I mean, this is one of the things. This is one of the things that people talk about, and even Zach Bagans had mentioned this later on in his career. That you get close enough to some of this stuff, and you actually retell the story. You actually call in, or you open a window. And it's even been suggested that if you watch some of these ghost hunting shows, that you're welcoming it in some fashion. I think there might be some truth to that. I really don't know. I haven't researched it enough, but it seems plausible that could be the case. I mean, how long could I not talk about the Pukwudgies? I couldn't even say the Hockomock Swamp, okay, without something going, whoop, there you go. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? I mean, like someone just popped up that was negative and unfavorable at the very mention of those two subjects. So.
Oh. All right, now what do I do?
Were you very surprised when you saw this ghost? Did it just kind of register what you were seeing? Did you jump back, or were you just, still? How did you react?
At first, it was like almost like I was expecting it to be Jen. I was almost like at that point, like where it'd be like you open the door and you instantly recognize, you're like, oh, Jen. But like at that same time, I was like, like at the same time that I was registering that it was her, I was registering that this was not her. And then I was out. But I remember this so vividly, dude. And like, unlike any other dream, so I don't think it was a dream. I think this was real. I'm chalking up.
I mean, there's kind of things there's so many different kinds of memories that you can have that overlap in certain ways. But, when somebody has an experience like this, the first thing you're going to do is try to recall it. Now, I sort of equate this recollection to, for example, watching a magic trick where the magician knows how it's done and he understands that there is a direct and logical means to an end, but the whole idea is sort of to give the viewer the idea that there's a point A and a point B, but you have no idea how we got there. And I think in recalling some of these ghostly encounters or things of that nature, when people have that sort of quick shock, you weren't expecting to see it. I think the recollection can get a little foggy because, as a magician, I was a professional magician for many years. And one thing that a lot of people would say was, I think I know how you did it. And here's how I think you did it. And they were convinced, and it was nothing close. It was just what their perception was. So we always got to keep that in mind when we're, reviewing some of these things, even in our own experience,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But I mean, there's no way to mistake what I saw for anything else. But
no, I could agree with you with that.
Oh my God.
I could agree with you on that.
So creepy, dude. You don't even see that in a horror movie. I haven't seen that scene yet where someone opens a door and there's a girl floating above the cellar door stairs. And that would be a classic scene because the cellar door stairs are like everybody's scariest thing, Like, I'm gonna make that movie now. I'm gonna call it "Creepy Girl in the Cellar Door Stairs."
Everybody's gonna parallel it with The Ring. I mean, just think about it.
Just a 3-second movie. Open the door. That's it. All right, credits roll.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I first joined the show with you tonight, I mentioned that I have 3 significant ghost experiences, and I forgot. What I keep forgetting, and we talked about the other day, was my experience here on the porch that I'm in right now, where I saw a child run into the house back here through the door and literally disappear in my line of sight behind it's the interim between 2 windows, because I was looking at it from outside. It caught my eye, and I saw it, and it looked like it got up and whoop, shot into the other room, but it just didn't get past that one windowsill. I've never seen anything like that here. It was very clear.
I don't even know how you're in that room right now. I wouldn't be in that state.
At this point, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I know you, but I can't even look at the room.
Let's go spend a night in that basement. I'm just saying. Why not? What are you doing tomorrow,
Right.
We'll socially distance. You can sit on one end, I'll sit on the other, and we'll call each other like it was the Goldfield Hotel at Ghost Adventures episode. Turn off all the lights. Daddy, where are you? Hey, thanks for everybody tuning in tonight.
Yeah.
Both of us appreciate this. I mean, this is Rick's show, but we do have a lot of fun, and we appreciate you guys being here and enjoying what we're doing, even though we're just having fun sometimes.
Did you know I hit 50 subscribers today, and then I hit 51 during the chat?
First of all, congratulations. Second of all, what are you giving away?
Oh, I don't know. We'll give away something.
Come on. You're talking about this for 50 subscribers, right?
Yeah.
That's what you said. What are you giving away?
All right, I'll give away the Star Wars sticker, but you have to join in the. We're gonna do it either on the wheel or in the Facebook group.
Okay.
So cool. If you want to join Rick's Realm on Facebook, it's the group. Most of my friends, just click on my thing. You'll see Rick's Realm Facebook. You can join. I invited a lot of these guys anyways, so I think most of these people should be in there if they're on the Facebook. So, but we'll give it away.
Since you created that group, I'm sorry. Since you created that group, I've noticed a lot more people coming in and checking out. And what that means to me is that those people were probably on your peripherals in the first place, and now you've made a place where they can all come together.
That's it.
Kudos, bro.
Everybody, thanks, dude. Yeah, everybody come together and hang out, be goofy.
Cash money. Oh yeah, cash. What do you got for cash, by the way? Chuck Bam wants to know.
Nose flute. Lufon's still waiting for me to play the nose flute.
I want to see that too.
Yeah, that's when I stick the mic up my nose, right here. I was just assuming that's what it was. I have no idea what it is, but hopefully that'll please. Listen, I'm here to please the viewer. It's the content they want to see, and they put in nose flute. Boom. Chuck Bam, cash. Where do I send it? All right. What else do we got? Who else wants something? Prizes? Yeah, we got prizes. I don't fool around here. Jesus, these people think we fool around here, Michael.
Yeah, well, let's check the chat. Let's see what's fooling around. Oh, perfect.
No.
What do you mean? Where are you going with that? Hey, come on.
No, they're not ready for it. They're not ready for the wheel.
I'm sorry. We're having too much fun tonight. This is great.
No, yeah.
Can I ask you what you did today? Just, out of context, but, keep.
Oh, God. I can just tell you now and then record it and play it every time you ask me because it's the same thing. I woke up at like 4:30, had coffee, played Final Fantasy 9.
How is it?
Oh, my God. What a good game. I played it back in the day, but they have like a remade version of it, and it's good. And it brings you back to your childhood. Well, it did for me. And then I took nap number 1 around 7. Called 9 or 10. Nap number 1. And then I get up and I sit there and make noises for about an hour until lunchtime.
You kill me, dude.
All right. No, this is what I do. I'm not even joking. Every day. I'll make noises till about 11. I'll be like, oh, I'm getting hungry. I don't want to wait till 12, so I'll eat around 11:30. I'll eat then. Then I mope around. I'll be like, make noises. Mope upstairs. Second nap kicks in around 1 till 3:30. And then I'm up. I'm on Xbox till about 5, dinner time. And then I come on and do this. Every day. The last 2 months.
I know you can't see it because the lighting in here is absolutely horrible. But I am burned to a crisp. My face is so
good
red
in there. Yeah, no, I can see it now.
Can you see it?
Oh, yeah. I can see it. Trust me.
I mean,
you can tell.
Dude.
Yeah.
Should put something on.
Yeah. If you're Italian, you don't get that. You get like the nice. I haven't even been out and I'm darker than you. You're sunburnt. Look at you.
Dude, well, you get to be Italian, at least in this life. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get off topic here. I didn't.
No, Chuck wants gas. No, I'm just going off of the.
He's asking all the best things, dude.
Anything goes on my show. There's no apologies, please. Don't ever apologize. There's no script. There's no format. There's nonsense. Rich made me self-conscious earlier by saying too many clicks and smacks, but I showed him that it's my $20 headset. He thought I was using the microphone, I think, because I had it like this. So I try to fool.
Why aren't we using that mic right now? It's not working up.
I need the
cord you said you
XLR to USB, which is coming whenever. Amazon's like, forget the 2-day delivery now on Amazon. They just haven't. They're not doing it anymore. It's ridiculous. So I know. Listen to me complaining about not getting something. I don't even want to like live right now. I'm complaining about that.
Yeah. Okay. God, you're having a great show here. You got everything to complain about, I suppose, huh?
51 subs. Next stop is 100, and we're giving away another goodie at 100 subs. So tell all your friends, share, like, subscribe. What else? Anything else we doing? I don't know. I could just do an hour tonight. I'm fine with that.
I would whatever you'd like, man. I know you covered some things earlier.
Yeah.
Reading from the stories. I mean, I wanted to share, that one story I had because that was really my first brush with this. I mean, there's a couple times in my real early youth where I was like 5 or 6, and I remember what appeared to be like a face that would come up into my window, and I thought it was a bear or something. All right, now we could sit here and say, "Oh, that's just an imaginary friend." It's kids' imagination. I remember so starkly that it drove fear into me. And the odd thing was that my window was 2 stories up. So when I told my parents there's a bear in my window, they're like, "Come on, go back to bed." But I think about it now, I'm like, I don't know. Was there something etheric there? You know what I mean? At such a young age, sort of invoking that fear. I don't know.
That's creepy. My God, 2 floors up and you're seeing something at your window. Oh, you're too scary. I can't have you on here anymore. These scary stories, dude.
Come on that other half of the yin and yang for your show right now. Talk about that.
Do you remember Salem's Lot, the horror movie back in the day, Stephen King?
Oh yeah, I remember.
And the kid would be floating outside the window of his friend's bedroom window or his brother's. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Well, why does that scare us so much? Why does that scare us so much? Is it because it's out of context with what you normally know as reality? Or is it because the possibility that it reaches beyond something we don't understand? Is it something personal within you that is reflecting a fear? I mean, when people are looking at this, there's so many different angles, man.
I know. Oh. And then you got to know, then you got the fact that is it even real? Is a ghost even a spirit? Or is it something from another dimension or recording somehow in time? Or, you know what I mean? You don't know.
Mm-hmm. You don't. You have no idea.
No.
But that's the fun of it. That's the beauty of
so much fun.
Do.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I'm out on the beach today. I got the kids out and everything. Never mind. I'm not going to say that on air. Anyway, I have the kids out, and the beach, for what it's worth, sort of fills up with people. Now, where I am, everybody's very conscious of the social distancing thing, but we're still talking to each other from 6 feet away and so forth. I talked to this one guy, and he's like, what do you do? What do you like to do? And we're getting into it. I'm like, well, I'm a server, for my professional career, if you will. Otherwise, I do talk radio, and research paranormal. He goes, oh, you do? I'm like, yeah. Why, you interested? He's like, yeah. He might be listening right now, to be honest with you, because I gave him our names, and he expressed twice that he was interested in at least tuning in and checking out what we're doing, which, again, it's just another person, another mind, another set of opinions, another set of experiences to be added to the pot that this community, all of us here, guys, not just the ones that are in the chat room, but, Goof on too, all these guys that are really sort of networked together, display. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing, man. Just getting people together with the same mentality or having their own opinions about it. And I love that. I love the skepticism.
You know what I mean? That's what I love too. Everybody's not just like buying into everything. Like, oh, so everything's real. All the videos are real. All the ghosts are real. Everybody's questioning it.
Well,
bringing their own questions to it, their own, style to it, their own flavor.
Mm-hmm. We have a good group of people.
Oh, it's great. It's unbelievable. So tonight we had surf and turf. Not surf and turf. Fish and chips. So good. With fried clams.
Oh God, don't get me going, man. I miss my
Yep.
fried clams. I
Big
really
basket
do.
of them. I ate like half the basket. Oh. And now I'm gonna do some peanut butter. Not peanut butter. What is it called? Salted sea salt caramel peanut. It's brownie brittle. You ever hear of it? This stuff?
No.
Brownie brittle. All
Brownie
right.
brittle?
Picture
brittle,
peanut.
yeah.
You know peanut brittle, right?
Yeah.
All right. It's a brownie. Picture peanut brittle as a brownie. Like the same thin, crispy thing, but as a brownie, it's not peanut. Oh yeah. Let it sink in.
Where the hell is Mr. Cheap Chip?
Oh, I haven't found any cheap chips. You know, I'm pretty upset because Utz has now moved out of the cheap chips category. Unless you can find it at the dollar store for, you know. So
Well, I mean, there must be something else. I mean, there's so many different cheap chips out there.
there's
Yeah.
cheap chips to be found, but the ones that I like and enjoy, I gotta get out of my house to see what's out there. I've been sitting in my house for 2 months, except to go to the store. So I really want to go to Target because they have like a huge selection of different flavored spams,
Mhm.
like jalapeno and bacon and all these different flavors. So I think they might be a cheap chip mecca as well. So we'll see. Yeah. Look at this. We got 8 people watching. This is a record.
Yeah.
51
Hello
subscribers.
there, will ya?
8 people. You know what it is?
What's that?
Because we're doing episode 22 on May 22 on 2020. Let that sink in. I'll be right over here. Let that sink in. Did it sink in?
Oh, it's sinking deep, buddy.
All right, I can give you more time.
No, not necessary. Not necessary.
That's what it is. So tonight's the show of shows. You know?
Yeah.
I even wore my nice shirt.
Go.
Yeah, but I got a button-up shirt on.
Mhm.
With buttons.
You look nice. You look nice. Where are your sunglasses that you usually have?
Oh, you don't wear those inside. Those are right here, though.
You did. Yeah, you did last time. Well, the light in front of you, sometimes can be a pain. I don't know what you got for a spotlight right now, if that's just your computer or something, but I know you have the blue light.
That's just the computer, and then the blue light's for atmosphere. It's scary ghost story night, minus the scary ghost stories. Does anybody in the chat room, I know I mentioned this earlier, that anybody in the chat room can call in. Autopilot, what's up? I got this. We got everybody from the goof on. This is great.
Yeah,
welcome,
buddy.
Guys.
Welcome, folks.
Yeah, yo. Do you have a scary story, Autopilot? We got one nobody. He's still here. Chips, cheese, and gravy. Ooh. Like French fries? Oh, UK food. Okay, so it's chips, I'm assuming it's French fries, right? UK.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So chips, cheese, and gravy. I will eat that, yes. That's like poutine. Poutine. Is that what they call it?
Poutine? Oh, that stuff is good, man.
No.
Now, you know what? It's interesting because a lot of tourists that go up to Canada, that's one of the first things you're going to jump on. And let's say you're up there for a week or two, you're going to eat it, 3-4 times sometimes. I've done it, believe me. Canadians will eat it maybe once, twice a year because it's so unhealthy for you. But it's good, man. Let me tell you.
Oh, when I went up there, when I was 18, they had those buses. Did you ever go on those buses? The strip buses?
No, I never did.
No?
No, I know what you're talking about, though.
All right. Well, for anybody who doesn't know, in Boston, they have when you're 18, it's legal to drink and all that stuff up in Canada. So they arrange these bus tours. And there's like they fit 50 or 100 people on these buses, and they schedule and they drive up to the Canada. We go right up to Montreal, and you can do whatever you want. So 18, we went up there, and I went to McDonald's, and they said, "Do you want the gravy on the fries?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I got it anyways, and dude, it was so good. I said, "They gotta have this in America." They never had it. I was so mad. I've been mad since.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
they put the gravy on the French fries, like up there. They did that. I don't know.
It is. Yeah. That's what you're supposed to do. It's so good.
It's so good, dude. Gravy is like the best addition next to bacon, like on dishes. It's like,
Speaking of bacon, I made bacon wrapped asparagus tonight on the grill. Ooh. And I'll tell you, I mean, some of them got burnt. I ate that. Oh, the burnt part was probably the best part.
Gutter.
We got Gutter Gawker in the
in the house. Hey,
what's going on, Gutter?
We were doing scary ghost stories, Gutter, and then we switched to food. So if anybody wants to share their food stories,
this is the normal course of Rick's Realm show, as you know. You know what I mean? We always end up on food somehow.
Right. And never the thumbnail, just disregard. That's just a click. That's like clickbait. Now that I got you all here.
We're going to talk about Doritos. What's your favorite kind? I like roulette, which they don't make anymore.
These people grabbed, made popcorn, made up a drink, got settled in there for their chair, put me on, and now they're ready for the ghost story.
You're kidding me? They're not ready to cook a roast beef. I mean, I have to listen to you got a whole culinary team now. We were a paranormal group, but now we're a culinary group. Hey, guys in the chat, I'm glad you guys are finding this amusing. Yeah, seriously.
Thank you. This is the pre-party show. That's right. This is where everybody can you can open a beer garden next week.
Yeah.
Oh, Gutter, does that mean now when you do your shows, your live streams from the bar, like people are going to be in there? Are you going to be able to do it from there? Like still? People running around? So it's going to be too loud, I think. No, I don't know. You had a few people in there last show I watched. The guy was he was running around. He had another gentleman on there telling stories. It was great. What is this? You're stuck in Chicago? Poor Gutter. He's stuck in Chicago. All right.
Well, with those 5-lane highways, I know.
Must be terrible. 5 lanes on each side?
From what I remember, I mean, going into Chicago, there was a 5 to 6 lane highway. I mean, you guys can correct me here because you know how many you have, but I mean, it's the widest highway I've ever driven on. And again, I've said it before, you guys are also nuts when you're driving. Which is fine. Manhattan's the same way. It's just the way, it's the culture, man.
Yeah, no, hey. That's like we have any good drivers here in Boston. Come on. We got the worst in the country rated every year. On the worst roads in the country, too. I think. I've been all over them. You know who's got the good roads is Vermont and New Hampshire. If you're looking for some nice roads, they just redid like all of the major highways, like up through Vermont and New Hampshire.
Okay.
And and they
say scenic up there anyway, so
yeah,
very scenic. Yeah.
Oh God. And then like Vermont will trim the grass on the side of the highway and like it's all clean and nice and trim and clean and just beautiful. Yeah. And then you come here and you can notice the difference too when you're driving like from New Hampshire to Mass. You notice it like as soon as you hit the border, like shrubs and dirt and trash and great. Massachusetts, welcome to Great. Clean your road.
Well, then we got all our cracks and potholes. I mean, there's jokes all over the place about that stuff, but
oh, it's ridiculous. Chuck Bam requests more nose flute.
More nose flute coming up. Go ahead, Rick. I don't have a mic like that, so you're gonna have to, take the place here. Now that you've blown everybody's speakers, and we're all out on the path to get new microphones and speakers.
Listen, I
Right.
give the viewer what they want, no matter what it is, folks.
Hey, listen, Stu. When you live in Boston, it's like a lot of major cities. You don't even need a car. You use public transportation, and it's just easier to get around. If I lived in Boston, I wouldn't own a vehicle. I
God,
would have
no.
to, I would say.
Oh, no. Because you're going to hit somebody just driving, down the street. They just walk right up. They walk right out into the street. They don't care. They don't wait
No, it
for
makes me mad.
lights.
Every time I'm driving in Boston, I'm in such traffic. I'm watching these people that are walking along the road, and they're moving much quicker than I am, and I'm stuck behind some guy.
Yeah.
Get rid of the car.
They're halfway across the city. You're still sitting at the red light. And they're walking. And you're watching them. You know what I mean? You almost want to tell them, like, to get whatever it is you're trying to get, and you'll meet them there when you get. By the time you get there, it's ridiculous, man.
Good old
I don't know.
Massachusetts.
I give it up. I give up.
There's a culture everywhere you go.
Yeah.
So, I apologize for getting off topic along with you. I'm not going to take this whole thing on my shoulder.
No.
You're coming with me on this one. But do you want to get back to
I don't know. Does anybody do you have more?
I mean, I do. I have more. But let's see what the guys in the chat think. What do you guys want to hear? You want to talk more about ghosts? You want to hear more about food and how tired you're looking? Because we can go any
I'm
direction.
actually not that tired tonight. I've been chugging the iced coffee. I made an extra batch.
Mm-hmm.
So I might even have another one after this. Friday night. I'm ready
Goof
to
on's
party.
gonna be on, yeah.
Got goof on. You know what I mean? What else do you want in life? And if you're still up after that, sometimes you'll have Gutter on, or you can go over to SOR, and he's on at midnight every night. So
wasn't 503 do a show as well?
Wasn't he doing a live something?
No, he was with Gutter the other night. He was with Gutter the other night. I don't know if he's doing something, upcoming, but
I'm not sure. But I heard he might be doing something live.
I thought maybe he did. I didn't get a chance to check that out.
He did a live show with Gutter, yeah. But I think he's doing his own thing coming up. I don't know. That'd be cool.
Bat Squatch.
So you're going to be doing some stuff too. What do you got coming up on your show?
Well, I mean, I'm wading through topics to play with here. I'm waiting to do the Montauk stuff. Probably another couple months. Yeah, a couple weeks. Sorry. There are a lot more players that I've found in this in terms of the Montauk boys that. You can take the initial story, talk about the three key characters, Al Balick, Preston Nichols, and Duncan Cameron. But then there are all these other Montauk boys that were involved, Andy Perro, Stuart Swerdlow, and so forth. Just to name a couple there. I'm finding all of their stories having a certain continuity to it. And some of them didn't know each other, I don't know. We're getting into that. I couldn't tell you what the next show is going to be about, but I guarantee it will be interesting and enthralling. I mean, God, we can go into anything. I mean, even the sacred geometry stuff, we only barely touched the surface with. So, anybody have suggestions? I'd be more than happy to do a show on a topic of your choosing, something you're interested in, and even have you on if you like.
Oh yeah, you get into some deep discussions over there, folks.
Oh yeah. We're gonna have some guests on in the next couple of weeks as well, and I'll update you with that. But I am excited, and that's as much as I can say right now. But I am very excited to have some of the people I've been in talks with on.
Sweet. Yeah, you got what do you call? You got to get back into your studio there. You've been out there for how long now? Almost a month.
Almost a month
Coming
and a
up
half.
on a month. Oh my God. Now you stuck there from the quarantine? Is this by your own choice, or are you just not?
No, this is my own choice. I mean, but this is the place to be if we're in quarantine. Essentially, I'm just very lucky that my folks have allowed me to come and enjoy their house where they have a smaller place down in Florida, as you know, a lot of old folks do. The old joke goes. But they've allowed my sister and I to kind of perch up here with our kids and enjoy the beach in their absence. It's been an absolute blessing for what that's worth, you know.
That's
Never
great.
take it for granted. Every day is a new day, even though you're looking at the same terrain. There's something different there every time.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm just noticing in my chat room that Streamlabs has infiltrated my chat and is now taking over as moderator, and I'm not even on Streamlabs. So I apologize to everybody. I don't know what's going on.
No, I was yelling at Streamlabs the other night when it was switching people. I couldn't figure out why.
Oh no, I must not have removed them from as a moderator through my YouTube channel. Sorry, guys. So just try not to post caps, I guess.
Or, you know, say more than 5 words. I guess, you know, can't have something too long.
Don't express yourself.
Don't put any links in there either. Don't put any links in there. You can't have that either.
Oh, this is terrible. I love it. Yes,
So
you can write in
running,
caps
okay.
autopilot, but as Streamlabs recommends, please refrain from spamming caps. God damn it, autopilot. You know how to make Streamlabs mad. I don't even know. It's not even. This is StreamYard. How do I remove Streamlabs? I hope I'm not broadcasting on both of these. Uh-oh. I don't know. I think we only got the one stream going. Let me see.
I hope so.
Yeah, oh, well. What are you going to do? So far, it's been all right. Just please refrain from spamming, please. Thank you, autopilot. We'll understand your post just as much as if it's in caps as if it's in lowercase.
You know, dodging around all this stuff.
Yeah.
These are just little technical things we're going to work out. I mean, come on, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think it's kind of funny now, though.
3 shows in, so I mean, we're still in our infantile state with this sort of thing, and believe me, it's growing, as we can see tonight. With
It's growing.
Us, so
I might. Jill, wait, hold on. I just saw
Oh,
Jilly
yeah.
Bean. Did you see that?
Did you? Is she in?
Jilly!
Yeah, hey,
Jilly England! Hey!
Good to see you.
Just scrolled. Sorry, I didn't see that earlier. Hello. No spelling errors either, Stu says. That's right. If you misspell something, Streamlabs will smack you on the hand.
I don't know. We're going to find out better. We're going to find out if you can write all caps.
Let's see. Come on.
Let's see. We're waiting for the moderators to punch in.
Yeah.
We're having a coffee break and donut right now in the back room.
Moderator
See you later.
Let me see. I didn't see. I'm going to keep the Streamlabs moderator. That's my moderator. Say hello.
Find this guy and break his knees like Nancy Kerrigan. Ooh,
does it? I can't see on YouTube channel. Does it have a wrench like a moderator would?
Yeah, it does.
It does?
It says Streamlabs in blue and it has a wrench. You got this is a troll right here is what you got. You got a troll.
No, it's not. It's Streamlabs. It's
I know.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's too funny. I never knew I had it still on there because I had nobody in the chat. I don't have anybody here. I turn it on today. There's 5 people waiting for me. I'm like, get all nervous. I'm like, I'm sorry,
there
guys.
Were 5 people waiting for you in queue?
I had 5 people. As soon as I turn it on, 3 people, and then I jump right to 5. And I said, oh my god, I got all nervous.
They were all waiting with bated breath.
That's it. They're waiting for ghost stories, which they never got, but hey, they hung around, so I appreciate it.
No, if you were listening for the first 15 minutes, you got a few things, you know. You said the word ghost. We're good. Right? Yeah. You lived up to the tab.
Yeah, I need a new moderator, folks. I'll fix that. Sorry.
You need a real
now they're deleting your posts. Oh.
Hey, she's right. She's right. You read that?
What
read the chat. She's right.
Mine? This is all delayed on my screen.
What's the last thing you got on there from Jilly?
I'm blocking the bot.
Yeah, what's the one underneath that?
I'm gonna go. Hold on. I want to go in real quick and fix this thing because I don't
Make
want
Phil a
people getting
moderator. All right,
blocked.
I'll say it. Thank you.
I do not want to have people with problems here, so we're gonna go in right now to my channel and fix this once and for all.
Joey, I'll put you on my channel as a mod. Be more than happy to.
Yeah, we can make mods, definitely. I'm going to need a mod in here because I never read the chat room. And I'm getting rid of the Streamlab thing right now. How do I get in here? Let me at him. Let me at him. All right, keep
this
talking
freaking
about something.
thing, dude, I'm telling you right now.
Can you please just talk about something for a minute while I do this?
I'm dropping an elbow real quick.
Right,
okay, so I don't know. I mean, I've been put on the spot more than once here with Rick's Realm, and I understand the frustration in trying to fix this, but we should probably wait till later. But anyway, I don't know. Didn't have anything prepared. We were talking about ghosts and ghost adventuring in certain respects.
You just want me to wait till later because you have nothing to say. You'll do what I say
I
on my
want you
show.
to wait till later
God
because
damn it!
Live
Keep these folks entertained while I fix this.
All right, you heard the boss. So I guess I'm going to go into very briefly one of my other ghost experiences that I had, and this was actually with Rick when we had our ghost investigating team, if you want to call it that, as hokey as it is, especially saying that today. We did do that. The Colonial Inn, the Concord Colonial Inn in Concord, Massachusetts, is a legendary spot for hauntings and paranormal activity. The history of the place basically dates back to when the Redcoats were invading, and both sides were shooting each other. And literally, because it was on the front step over by Minuteman Bridge, I think they were pulling both sides into this particular building, and it became a hospital for some time. So the backstory is the majority of the soldiers who had wounds were in the bottom first floor of the building, and the ones that they didn't really think that they could save, but weren't really sure, would they put upstairs. Now there was one room which press to remember the number. I'll find it out for you in just a moment. That they would put terminally screwed guys, for lack of a better description, into, and basically say, hey, listen, we're going to come up and we're going to operate on this, we're going to do this for you. But they would really just put them in there to die because there was nothing they could do. So long story short, we went to this place, and Rick had never had any sort of encounter or had any experience with this stuff. And myself, I was obviously still getting into it in a physical sense in the field work. And so we went up to this room, and we did our lighting and all the stuff, went through the evening and got into our right mind and started to do the investigation. Now, I remember sitting in an older chair, and Rick was next to me on my right. And sometime into the questioning, must have been like half hour, 45 minutes, I started feeling a wave of energy that would kind of just course through me and just raised every hair on my body. And as soon as I felt that, I looked at him and I said, hey, you feel that? And through the dark, I mean, there's a little bit of light coming through the window, through the shades. I could see his face just astonished, like, yeah, do you feel it? Yeah, I felt it. I asked you, and that was the first time I think Rick actually felt something like that. But he was very interested in the sensation, and I'm sure he could comment more on his experience with that. But I was really honored to be there and be one of the first to share that with him at the Concord Colonial Inn.
Oh, that was crazy, dude. You could feel it like going, like moving, like over the arm, almost like a excuse me. Oh, down the wrong pipe there. It's almost like a liquid, but like an air liquid. I don't know how to describe it.
Go ahead.
You know
That's
what
good.
I mean?
I like that. Yes, I do.
Like air liquid, like a sheet. But you could like almost sense it. I don't know, like, yeah. But it was like air liquid. Like, I don't know how to. If anyone's ever felt it, they'll know what I mean. But it was like moving over it. It was like kind of like testing it, see what was going on, and then gone. I was like, creepy. So, hey, I just wanted to make an announcement that The stream bot is gone, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up. Where's my thing? Oh, shit. Hold on. I have a new audience. That's supposed to be the audience clapping to that.
There's one guy in the audience. That's fine.
All right. Next. So, it's one guy with one hand. One guy with one hand clapping. I can't even take it, dude. That's great. Give me that back. Hold on. That's awesome. Just imagine one. Hold on.
Oh my God.
There you got one guy in the audience with one hand clapping. It's like, hey folks, what is the deal with these chicken McNuggets? What part of the chicken is the McNugget from anyways?
Oh Jesus. Listen, this is a G-rated show where I take it other places as a stand-up comedian. I'm just saying, you're lucky. You're lucky. You're not tonight. Silly.
So that's my audience, you know. I like my audience.
Where did you even get that, man?
This is my mother got me this as when she got me tickets to the Impractical Jokers that you went to.
Yes, that was a heck of a show, man.
She had a bag filled with all this stuff, like all these joke things, like joke sunglasses and crazy string, this thing, all these like little joke gags. And then at the bottom of it was the tickets, and those I pulled out. I was like, what the hell is all this stuff you get? Like, what is it? Like, nothing to do with anything. And I pull out the ticket. I was like, oh, all right.
Hey, Mom wanted to make sure we were prepared for the show.
Yeah, I think she was doing it more like a theme, like to that theme, or like joke, because she didn't really, because they joke around, so she was getting like little. So now this has become my audience. Yeah, now it's become my audience.
Where's my hand?
Oh, we got your hand.
Where's my hand?
Hold on.
Jesus. Yeah, I don't know what we do here, guys, but thank you for being here. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
So, here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
It's still on there. Oh, you killed me, dude. You absolutely killed me.
This is Michael Rose's hand. The scratches. And this is from when we spin the wheel of mystery. Which we're going to have to do. We have to do a full show of a full wheel.
I'm waiting for it.
You know what I mean?
I do.
I have challenges now.
I know, we talked about them already.
The challenges will win prizes for the person you're paired up with, but you have to do the challenge, and the challenge is very embarrassing socially. So you have to be prepared. You have to like sign a letter of non-disclosure.
Nobody's signing anything. Okay.
No, but you have to. I didn't make it too.
We can barely work the chat. Nobody's signing anything.
Let's just say they're socially embarrassing. I won't say any more than that. But they're really fun, I think. If I spin the wheel and land on it, I have to do it too. It's not just for you guys. So I could have to embarrass myself too, which I try not to do too much of, besides the show. So who do we got in the chat tonight? Let's see. Before we wrap this up,
Jilly's blowing it up. I love
it. Jilly, Streamlabs is gone.
Streamlabs.
Let's have. Let me put a little thing in the
hijacking the show.
Yeah, Streamlabs.
Taking it away, never adding anything to it either.
Yeah. You didn't even say hi or anything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Nothing. Nothing personal.
RIP Streamlabs 2020. I know. We'll make mods. We're going to pick a mod. Now that I have 51 people, we're making a mod. Jilly, can you be here weeknights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, U.S. We have to know. That's rule number 1 of becoming a mod. We want to make sure that you're here. Because Streamlabs works 24 hours a day without a break. And, I'm looking at the cheaper option,
Oh, God. All right. I'm going to go jump off a cliff now.
You have one right out that window, yeah.
Listen, what I'm going to do is I'll send you the location where my bobby will drop, and then I want you guys to swarm there after they collect it and do a ghost investigation. I'll try to come through for you guys. I'll do my best.
As soon as you die, we want to be right
Leave me
there.
a marker or something, right on the walls. I don't know, whatever rock is over there. It depends on where I go.
I want to be pushing the people out of the way with your dead bodies so we can conduct the hurry up.
If you could die of laughter, I'm telling you, I'd be dead 10 times over here. Excuse me. All right, so what are we doing? What do you got going? What's next? We're an hour and a half in, my friend. What are we doing next? What do you got?
I've got nothing, honestly.
Fantastic.
That's every show. I've got nothing. That's all we need, like Jay and Silent Bob. Yeah, you can start drinking. I'm gonna have to start drinking for my show. All right, before we lose everybody with our nonsense, let's wrap this up because I just don't have anything else tonight. Do you?
No, I've got nothing. Yeah. I've got nothing. We've been going for an hour with me at least, and
yeah, I think an hour and a half is nice.
A couple of times, that was good.
Right. Then this will give everybody time to gather their favorite snacks, make some popcorn, settle in for Goof On. He's coming on soon, and everybody
we all love Goof On. We all love Rich.
Michael, yeah. Where'd the thing go? Here we go. I'm gonna show you that one. Michael turned to drinking.
Well, I'm on Rick's show. What do you expect? You know what I mean?
Show.
You'll see this on my show. None of this behavior on my show.
This will happen, folks. My show may cause alcoholism. So be careful. That's why I want people to sign the thing before they come on it. Oh, thank you, Stu. Best show ever. Oh, now he's gonna hit the ball.
Oh my God, this is out of control. Hold on, where's my pipe? I don't even think I have it in here. Hold on.
I just can't even take it anymore. That's gotta be the best,
man. This is your fault.
The best string of comments I've ever seen on YouTube or anywhere in my life. Best show ever, followed by I'm gonna go hit the ball. Oh my God, I can't take it anymore. I'm like sweating.
Yeah, me too. My sunburn is killing me, bro. Oh, I can barely sit down and lay on the couch, man. It's killing.
Oh, I feel that pain.
Oh, Jesus. I got no right to complain about that at all. I mean, it's May 22nd and it's 70-some-odd degree weather, and I'm burned to a crisp. I got no place to be complaining at all. So
no. How hot was it today? Oh, my God. It's so muggy.
Down here, we didn't have much of a breeze as you normally do on the coast. So, I mean, I said to myself as I sat down and brought the kids out on the beach, it says, water's still cold. Again, it's, mid-May for all intents and purposes. And, I said to myself, I want to go in the water, but I don't like the cold water. So I'm going to sit down and just see how I feel. Well, I sat there for about a half an hour, dude, and I started heating up. And I was like, oh, my God, I'm going to have to go in the water. And I did. I had to, dude. It was just too much, man.
Oh, you got to, yeah.
Now, I can't even imagine if it's like 80 or 90 degrees out. I mean, today was absolutely perfect. You don't need much more.
Oh, it was beautiful. But then it got muggy towards the end of the day. I don't know if that has something to do with the storm that's coming up here. But
Probably.
Sure.
I mean, we didn't catch it down here, but I imagine that's part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, we got the pool open today, so that was nice. But it's still like the ocean. It's still too cold to go in. You know what I mean? It's like winter
The water's
water.
actually warmer than I thought it would be. In the last 2 weeks, it warmed up considerably.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's nice.
nice.
Yeah, I'm not
But
an ocean guy.
oh jeez, I couldn't live without the ocean,
I
man.
can't stand the sun, dude. Like I want to be in trees, like the shade. I just can't be out there in that open sun. I don't even like my own yard because it's open.
Well, you either like the forest, woods, mountains, or you like the
Oh
ocean. Yeah,
yeah.
it's just one of the two most people, I think.
Uh,
But listen, I'm gonna get going here. I do
yeah.
appreciate you having me on your show again,
Yeah.
and another great time. Thank you, everybody, for
So much
joining us
fun.
tonight. It's been another lovely experience here on Rick's Realm. Again, I've been very blessed and happy to be a part of it. And thank you for having me. Cheers.
Thanks for coming, and we'll see you next time.
Absolutely. I'll see you over at Goof On at least.
Oh yeah, we'll be there tonight.
All right,
All
brother.
right. Thanks for coming, and
Cheers. Have yourself a good night. Rick's
you
Realm.
too. Rick's Realm.
Rick's Realm. Next time on Rick's Realm. I'm by the ocean. I got to make the pirate sound, okay? All right, folks. Have a good night.
Buddy.
We'll see you
have a
soon.
good one.
Cheers.
Take care now. All right. There he goes. He left. He didn't want to be part of my show anymore. No, I'm just joking. I'm going to kick him out. If you want to... There we go. He left. Yeah. See you, Mr. Michael. Oh, let me get my microphone back. I like my microphone. This is what it's going to look like in a few days. I'm going to have a modulator on there. I'm going to sound real sexy. And I'm going to announce movie trailers. Yeah, that's it, I guess. You know where we all go after this? Goof On Radio stream. There's a link right in the description for any of you folks, like Miss Jilly. If you're interested in, he covers everything: UFOs, ghosts, all the paranormal, all the paranormal, cryptids, everything. And he's the funniest guy. I love it. You're gonna love it. Go over there, Goof On Radio stream, chat room. Thank you, chat room. We got 51 subscribers. Went from 50, started the show. I got one during the show. Unbelievable. Thank you so much. Next stop is 100. We'll do the Wheel of Mystery. We're gonna do the Wheel of Mystery, and we're gonna have a giveaway for next show. So the rules though are you gotta live in the US for the giveaway if you want free shipping. Okay. If you don't live in the US but you win the prize, I'll split the shipping with you. It's the best I can do. You know what I mean? It's not a multi-million-dollar thing, and it won't cost that much to ship it. It's paperweight. It's not that heavy. So that's the rules. All right. Link. Yes, Miss Julia. If you go into my description of this video, it should be there right now for you. If not, yeah, I think it is. I'm pretty sure. I hope so. Well, now that StreamBot is gone, I can post links in there. I don't know where. Oh, here it is. Let me get you the link. This is where everybody goes. A lot of our nice folks here in the chat room tonight are actually met through there. So it's awesome that we're all coming together and hanging out together. I love it. Best chat room you'll ever see. Honestly, you'll love it. Here's the link to the chat that I've been yapping about. There it is. Goof On Radio stream. He's coming up. I know it doesn't say Goof On, but that link will take you to his thing. Yeah, so thanks everyone. 51. This is awesome. Next stop is 100. We got to get a hundo. I'm all like, I can feel myself. I'm all like, oh, too much laughing. Good time tonight. Wow, so much fun. Whoever thought a ghost story show would be so much fun, but, you know, it is. All right, so we got 20 minutes. Everybody, the hell out of here. Go over to Goof On, get that chat room going, get your snacks going. We're going to party. It's Friday night. Let's do it. And then we're out of here. Can I leave on like being cool? Like, hey, look. No, I can't because I didn't do it right. All right, well. Now, wait. Oh, no. No, where did it go? All right, well, I can't do it. Because I lost the link to my song. That's a bummer. Oh, no, there it is. All right, here's my intro music and my outro music. There we go. Have a good night, everybody. Episode 22, May 22nd, 2020. Synchronicity or not? Thanks again. Love you guys. You're the best. And I will see you soon. I don't even know if you can hear that, but all right, have a good one.